Hi, welcome to Dr. Hennessy's podcast, part 5. But definitely having the routine that you've put me on. So I do that cleanser, and then I do a pad with it.
I don't know, and you know what I'm going to say because of all the other crap that you have there as well, that you are on. Luckily now the ZO,
Well,
but
I
you
know,
still have hundreds of other stuff
but I
there.
believe it when I read it.
I
I
know.
think,
Oh,
oh my
they'll do
God,
this,
look at this in
but
2
that ZO
weeks.
program, has worked better than all that
Well, I
crap
just
you've
can't
got
believe they all
kicking
lie.
around.
And I am a marketeer's dream because when
You
I'm
are.
reading it and it pops up, I just
Oh,
think,
in fairness, we all are though, because yes, well, like that sling that you bought, that sling for the face that you bought. Oh my God! You honestly thought she thought
do you
that
know
there
what
was
else I did? Do you know what else I
a
did? I
little
didn't just
plastic
buy
sling with
one.
some gel in it that you hung around your ears, and that was going to get rid of your double chin.
Do you know what? Do you know what the thing was? I haven't confessed this before. It said it was going to work. And it said if I bought 3 of them, I got them cheaper. So I bought 3 because I thought, well, they're definitely going to work. And they hook around your
Ears,
they hook around your ears, and it holds you up like this.
and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Let's try.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll stick to haifu.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, that's the other thing. HIFU, isn't it? HIFU's great. Your high intensity focused ultrasound. That's not even an injection. When we were talking about stuff that people
no,
may
it is
have,
like a
that
flick.
it's a
Though.
flick. It's a
I
little
do
bit
take
nippy.
paracetamol
Yeah,
for
it
it.
can be a bit nippy, but then you kind of go. It's reassuringly nippy. It's going to do something. These things that just glide over your face, and you know it's not really going to do an awful lot. Old-fashioned radio frequency from years ago, you just glided over the face. You knew it wasn't really going to do an awful lot. I mean, now it's probably on the other extreme. You can get radio frequency microneedling. It's basically needles with the radio frequency, and that does hurt. But it's a way of delivering it. But HIFU doesn't damage the outer layer of the skin. It goes through. You've got 3 different layers, haven't you? And then that ultrasound will hit each layer to sort of tighten. It also dissolves a little bit of fat. It attacks a little bit of fat on the waist. So we use it down here. It's brilliant to just get rid of a little bit of fat, tighten the skin. That's really the main area. So again, if someone's frightened of fillers, that's brilliant. Jawline filler is a particularly tricky one because using your standard hyaluronic acid everyday fillers in a lot of people, when it gathers water a few months down the line, you just look boggier, rounder, fuller, more voluminous. You've lost that definition. When you see it sort of on Instagram and some of these girls have that snatched look and they put well, there's 2 things to that. One, they will literally put the filler along the jawline, so you only look good if you don't move because the filler is literally along the jaw.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you move, you've got a line that doesn't move with your jaw.
We've seen that.
So that looks odd. But then secondly, even then, it will become more hydrated, more boggy and rounder, and you just end up looking fuller.
So it never
we have
gives
to
you a
use-
straight line forever, really.
No, the best way of doing jaws is you go deep, like I was saying before, deep here, and deep here. There are 3 kind of spots that you go deep, and that will kind of pull the jaw. You're extending the sort of the jaw, if you like, and keeping it very simple so that it almost stretches the jawline back without then you looking heavy and boggy. Or then you use a filler that isn't based on hyaluronic acid, because hyaluronic acid is the one that will attract the water and can make that jawline just look worse. So
if it attracts the water, and say I was old enough to get little jowls here,
good lord.
you wouldn't want to put them there.
No.
You just put it either side because you don't want
That's
to
why
make
you
them
have
heavy.
that. If you've got jowls, generally speaking,
Which I haven't.
no,
Obviously.
we'll do filler in the chin and then HIFU behind. In a nutshell, in most people, that will kind of the thing, because the jowl is where there's been an increase in fat as we age. Your body lays down fat here, so you lose it here and you gain it here. So that's where you need filler there, but you don't really there. So you HIFU there to blast the fat. You put a bit of filler in the chin because you've lost the bone, and that will help support. And then you fill here to lift. That makes sense.
Yeah. And
Lift.
here.
Fill and dissolve. Well, dissolve, no. I mean, with HIFU, you kind of get rid of some of the fat.
Okay. And also, if you put it here, then when it attracts water, they're going to get look heavier.
100%. That's what often happens.
Right.
People who have that jawline and then they'll go, oh, it doesn't look that great a few months down the line. Got to
And
be
what
careful.
filler
with
do you
filler,
use
yeah.
here then?
So Restylane is one of the best fillers around, well, anywhere on the face, because just having said that, you don't want a filler that attracts too much water and goes boggy is the way I call it. I think that does that make sense?
Yeah,
That
no,
sort of
I'm with you.
description.
Yeah.
Restylane Lift and Restylane Classic and then a lot of the other of the Restylane range are renowned for not attracting as much water as some other fillers. You've been with me and we've seen the patients come in with those massive lips.
Yeah.
They look like they're just filled with water. There's no definition. They're out of shape. And you say, how long have you ever had those filled? Oh, it's been a few years now. And it just hangs around and it's just all turned into water. Well, okay, they need dissolving, but that's the sort of thing that you get. You can get that real boggy appearance.
When you
And
say
you
it
can get that with some.
Okay, sorry.
of the filler.
When you say it turns into water, why doesn't the body just get rid of it then?
Well, this is one of the things we're waiting to see. Over the years, we've realised, like you were saying, about how long filler. We used to think filler was 12 months and it
Yeah.
should be all gone, and now we're realising it's not. Some filler is hanging around and then it attracts more water. As it breaks down, it actually attracts more water. The molecules will sort of attract more water, so there'll be a lot less filler, but what there is then attracting water. That's why it changes its sort of shape from being all filler to pretty much all water hanging around a little bit of filler, and it's just lost its shape, and then that seems to just persist for years, and it looks horrible, doesn't it?
So, do you think that that's cheaper filler that does it more?
And funnily enough, no, and I don't want to mention the name of the filler, but there's one filler that when I do my training and I speak to other medical professionals, we all know the name of that filler that does turn lips like that, and it's not a cheap filler. It's just the way that filler is. We'll get sued now.
You are.
But I haven't said any names. But everyone knows what I mean.
I do.
Yeah.
So it's not to do with cheaper ones?
No.
Or the amount that's been put in?
Obviously, that will have a bearing on it because there are some cheap and nasty fillers. There are really some cheap and nasty fillers which you wouldn't touch with a barge pole. They have no clinical studies. You don't know where they come from. You've got to be so careful with.
So frightening.
It is because people are just putting these things in, and you've got non-medical people with no clue putting in stuff that they've got off the internet from China, shoving it in your face. That's where it's wrong. That's not right.
That's
You've got to use
podcast.
That's a different podcast completely.
Thanks for watching us. If there's anything you would like us to cover or any other information, just leave it in the comments or message us and we will do it for you.